So people believe the woman is supposed to be a helper of men.
Even when some sold the gospel of gender balance,
the fact that Alitwala Kadaga moved from deputy to speaker does not mean that that should be the pattern.
others did not buy it.
We are here because we love Uganda more.
On the one hand were ministers, while on the other were members of parliament. They were divided along the candidatures of Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga and Jacob Lokori Olanya. All were in disagreement of whom they preferred to be the Speaker of the 11th Parliament.
I saw Kadaga become Deputy Speaker twice and Speaker second term.
Not even the Central Executive Committee meeting of the ruling National Resistance Movement Party came up with a position on the first day.
We are trying as much as possible to make sure we conclude tomorrow and then move to the parliamentary caucus.
It was on the next day that they zeroed on Jacob Olanya as the party flag bearer. What a headache it had become. But where did it start? And how did this race get here?
Under normal circumstances, because of the pain of your daughter, you would not be sitting here.
The day was Tuesday, 2nd March, 2021. Speaker of Parliament, Rebecca Kadaga had lost a niece.
We shall be having a brief sitting today. We have suffered a tragedy in our home.
In her eulogy, the then woman member of Parliament for Koboko District, Babadiri Margaret, was concerned that Kadaga was chairing the House despite such a trying moment.
I'd like to find out what has happened to the Deputy Speaker. For long I have not seen him. Is he on leave? Where is he?
This concern was enough to compel the appearance of the Deputy Speaker Jacob Olanya to chair the House the next day, after about 13 months without.
Even if it was the last chance, the last opportunity given to me to preside in the 10th Parliament, if this was the last opportunity, it's an opportunity I'm willing to let go.
This communication was just enough for anyone to click that Olanya was settling for nothing less than the speakership of the 11th Parliament. Evidence to this was on 19th May 2021, the third day of swearing in for members of Parliament. Olanya, whose term as Deputy Speaker had expired, handed over the official vehicle to the administration of Parliament, something he confirmed doing in good faith.
Somebody had been given property by virtue of the office that he was holding. The term of that office ends today. He has returned. Instead of saying thank you, now you are reading bad faith.
And upon taking oath as Omoro County Member of Parliament, it was now time to make his ambitions clear. His expression of interest was seen in the picking of nomination forms from the NRM Party Electoral Commission. This was done just a few days after his competitor Rebecca Kadaga had done the same.
I have come to place my expression of interest for the position of Speaker. I have completed that. I'm now acknowledged as someone who has expressed interest.
We wanted the story of the 11th Parliament to be retold. Yes. We want children to sing praises about the Parliament of Uganda. Yes. That's what we want to achieve.
The process was meant to be subjected to an NRM caucus election in liaison with the party's Central Executive Committee. Olanya was chosen as the flag bearer.
If the party has taken a decision to endorse somebody else and somebody has been endorsed, please, in all fairness, don't antagonize the party.
We are not here to fight amongst ourselves. We are here to stand together and work for the country. And that's the purpose for which we are sent here.
Not contented, Kadaga opted to run as an independent candidate. Ready for the showdown, they both presented themselves as candidates alongside FDC's Ibrahim Semujunganda.
To nominate Honorable Jacob Olanya, take the chair of the Parliament as the Speaker.
I, Jacob Olanya, Member of Parliament for Moro County, do hereby consent to my nomination.
I stand under Rule 5, Sub-Rule 10, to second Honorable Alitwala Rebecca Kadaga.
I, Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga, do hereby consent to the nomination for the post of Speaker.
The day-long activity, overseen by Chief Justice Alphonse Owiny-Dollo, saw elections held, vote tallying and counting conducted, and winner announced.
I therefore now declare Honorable Jacob Lokore Olanya, who has obtained 310 votes cast, as the Speaker-elect of the 11th Parliament of Uganda.
Kadaga, who conceded defeat after garnering 197 votes against Olanya's 310, paved the way for the latter to assume the speakership.
I, Jacob Lokori Olanya, swear in the name of the Almighty God.
The Right Honorable Kadaga should not be a bad loser. I was happy that she came and congratulated the Right Honorable Jacob Olanya.
The decisions that are made by our political parties at any level must be respected.
President Yoweri Museveni, who had observed the exercise in silence, was later to share, after election of Deputy Speaker, how he intervened in this matter.
There was a very, very strong Olanya faction and a very strong Kadaga faction. But when after the decision, when I talked to them by phone, but also I met a few today in the morning, they all agree. Many of them agreed. I don't think it was everybody, but many agreed in a very short time to support the official candidate.
But what if the head of state had not intervened? Where was this race headed? Was the NRM party on the verge of division?
It is very possible that there would have been more or less a close tie between the two, or even possibly Kadaga would have won or Olanya would have won, but I think the fissures between the two would have widened even more.
Once you decide to belong to a political party, it becomes important to respect decisions made by your party, and also to be disciplined and show loyalty.
But I think the cooling down was through political coercion, not conviction. And when you vote somebody because you are coerced and you are not convinced, then that person may not be legitimate in your heart.
Over the years, previous speakers and their deputies have held these positions for not more than 10 years. Political commentators want this unwritten law upheld.
If you are in a position which is not decisive in deciding the direction of the country, like just a mere MP, I would not mind one continuing. But once you are in a position that is decisive in directing the direction of the country, you shouldn't serve more than 10 years in a democratic system.
Hot as the race may have been, the headache of having the Speaker and Deputy Speaker of the 11th Parliament was treated and chewed. Jacob Olanya and Anita Mong, both with opposition backgrounds, have since assumed these positions to run the affairs of the 11th Parliament. Henry Okrut, UBC.